Okay, so I came across this project called librebox. It's an open source game engine running Luau trying to replicate the Roblox API. Can you believe that?
Wait, seriously. An open source alternative to Roblox. That's pretty bold. But how does it actually work without using Roblox's code?
Exactly, librebox isn't using any of Roblox's source code or assets, it's just mimicking the environment. It gives developers full control over their games. That's fascinating.
Right, but doesn't that also raise questions about compatibility? I mean, if it's in demo stage, what limitations are developers facing right now?
Good point. So far, it has basic scene rendering and basic camera movement, but it's missing some key features. Like the full instance API implementation isn't there yet.
Ah, right, that's a crucial element. But you mentioned it supports things like lighting and shadows. That's a decent start at least.
Totally, and imagine being able to create a part, change its color, and make it spin all with familiar Roblox-like commands. That's super user-friendly.
Yeah, but I can't help but wonder if that appeal diminishes once you hit those limitations, right? What happens if developers can't access everything they need?
Good question. That said, they're planning to add more features like physics support and UI customization in future updates. So it's evolving.
True, but doesn't that also mean taking a gamble on the timeline? We've seen projects promise upgrades and then fall short.
Absolutely, there's always that risk. However, being open source means the community can contribute, which could accelerate development.
Oh, that's a great point. Community-driven projects can sometimes lead to rapid innovation. But do we know how robust that community is yet?
Not much detail on that yet, but if they generate excitement, we could see a strong support network that drives features or fixes.
That's intriguing. Now, the idea of owning your platform is appealing too. It gives developers space to create without restrictions, right?
For sure, they could create games that are entirely theirs without being tied to another company's rules. That could be a game changer.
But doesn't that also mean they're responsible for everything? If something breaks, it's on them, right?
Exactly, that's a double-edged sword. Freedom comes with the burden of maintenance and updates, but it could foster creativity in problem-solving.
True, and speaking of creativity, I wonder how easy it will be to implement updates or mods in LibreBox compared to Roblox.
Yes, that'll be a huge factor for retaining developers. If users find building easier, they might stick around longer. Interesting dynamic.
Definitely, but the toolset's universality is important too, right? Will developers need to relearn coding paradigms or language nuances?
Great point. The fact that it uses Luau means there's a transition period for those familiar with Roblox scripting, but they also might find learning curves.
And let's not forget the documentation aspect. Do we know if it's robust enough for developers diving in, or is it still shallow?
Good question. They mention documentation is coming soon, but vague details make it hard to gauge its helpfulness. That can be a deal breaker.
Right, if you can't find clear guidelines, it could frustrate developers and lead them to abandon the project.
Exactly. The balance between flexibility and community support is so crucial. It'll be interesting to see how they handle these aspects.
And what about their future roadmap? They contend they'll support multiplayer and replication features too. Is that realistic?
Yes, but also ambitious. Implementing those systems effectively isn't just a plug-and-play affair, it requires solid architecture.
That's true. It really highlights the complexity behind game engines. They need to build scalability while reworking existing features.
And they should think about security too. Multiplayer features can introduce vulnerabilities if not handled correctly.
Definitely. Open source doesn't automatically mean secure. They have to ensure private data isn't compromised, right?
Exactly, so there's a lot riding on how well they implement those features. It's a fine line between innovation and practicality.
Ah, the classic balance. Open source freedom versus the burden of responsibility. It's a fascinating tension.
Right, and at the end of the day, LibreBox could fill a vital gap in the gaming community if they pull it off.
Absolutely. So many questions remain, though. Like how will user input and custom asset handling evolve?
Great thought. That could either centralize or decentralize creativity in games. It's pivotal for user engagement for sure.
And it might impact the type of games created too. I mean, an open ecosystem could lead to community-driven content.
Totally, it's like tapping into collective creativity, where the community drives innovation from the ground up.
But when we think about the long term, what happens if they can't sustain that innovation? This could be a gamble either way.
Exactly, that longer-term sustainability is key. The community's engagement can truly determine if they thrive or fade away.
Such a profound discussion. At its core, LibreBox embodies the spirit of DIY creativity, but can it deliver on that promise?
And that's the real question, isn't it? It's a journey worth watching, hoping that this engine unlocks new avenues for gaming.
Totally. I can't wait to see where it leads. Let's keep our eyes on LibreBox and its future developments.